and welcome back to another Reaper Instagram live session. Today we'll be joined by 2022 NCWWC 101-pound champion Olivia Shore. She will be joining us shortly.
Hi, how's it going?
It is going pretty well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm a little sick. I have a cold, so that's why I'm a little. But I'm good. I'm ready to
That's
go.
great. I'm so sorry you're sick. It's just that kind of, it's going into spring. It's just the season of all different things. Better now than before at
Yeah.
NCAA championships, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So tell us, where are you calling in from today, and what are you up to?
I'm actually in the wrestling room and coach's office right now. I had class this morning, and it's a Monday, start of a new week, so just ready to take on the week.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time out today to come on with me during the live. I was really excited to talk to you, and we just had both national championships, the NCAA and the NAIA, so we're totally in post-season mode. So there's been time to reflect, time to think, this past season over. But honestly, before we get into NCAA championship things, you were number one going into the championship. Talk to us about the season and going into championships.
I mean, I have an amazing team behind me. We always work hard. We butt heads and here and there, and we're all girls and stuff. So sometimes it gets a little hard-headed, but I don't know. I just have a really good team, and we have really good practices, and we always just go super hard. So I just felt like ready. I was super ready, like the most ready I could ever been. So I was just really confident going in, and I was just ready to roll.
You went guns blazing, that is for sure. Tell us, who were some of your toughest opponents this past season?
Maddie McKenzie from Simon Fraser was probably one of my closest matches this year. Juliana from Gannon, she was a tough match. She was actually beating me at our home duel, and then I ended up coming back and beating her on criteria. But I bumped up to 109 for that match, so it was a pretty tough match. She was a little bit bigger, but it's the type of match that I need to get me ready for competition. So I was grateful I got to get those.
And then, of course, Maddie, you wrestled her in the semifinals before going on to the finals match, and that was really cool to see. And so, as of a few weeks ago, you, as a true freshman, won your very first NCWWC, aka NCAA championship title at 101 pounds, and you won over the 2021 reigning champion Angelina Gomez, who won the title last year. And just kind of as a recap for our viewers out there, for your run, you went 4-0 to secure the title. Your opening match, you won with a quick pin over Taylor Lindstrom. Then you won by a 13-1 tech fall over Gannon's Katarina Pendergrass, and then by fall over Simon Fraser's Maddie McKenzie, who we just mentioned, in the semifinals to advance to the finals. And then, of course, again, you met Emmanuel's Angelina Gomez, the 2021 101-pound champion, and in the finals, you won by an 11-0 tech fall, claiming the title as your own. As a freshman in college, tell us, what was this experience like with your first NCAA championships, going through the tournament? What was your experience like?
I was definitely nervous considering I was number one going in. I have a lot of, I feel like I had a target on my back for sure, and everybody's coming for me. But, growing up, I wrestled at Worlds before. I wrestled overseas. I wrestled in the Fargo finals. So I guess I'm kind of used to that pressure, and I actually really like it. I feel like I wrestle a lot better when I have pressure like that. So I was just ready to go. I just knew that if I went and did my best, that, it would work out in my favor because I worked super hard, and I was just ready to go. So I was just ready to wrestle.
And now that you have this title under your belt in your first year, I guess an obvious goal moving forward is, four-time national champion. Tell us, what are your goals?
Obviously, four-time NCAA champ. That's the goal. My junior year will be the Olympic year, so hopefully make the Olympic team, make that run. But we'll see. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on the next year to come. I need to get a little bit bigger, gain some more weight, be ready for next year. So I'm excited.
Guys, 2024 Paris, that is the next Olympics. And yeah, you'll be a junior. So it's plenty of time from now until then to prepare. And as we even saw from this last Olympic team trials, there were so many college women's wrestlers that were present at the Olympic team trials. I think it was about half of the women competing were on the college level. So we're definitely excited to see you, work your way up to that point for sure.
Yeah, me too, for
And
sure.
then, of course, so yes, this was definitely your first title, but also in addition to that, for Tiffin University, this is their y'all's very
Yeah.
first women's national championship title as well. Tell me, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to the team?
I just feel like yeah, it's awesome to have my own national title. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously like that's amazing, but I had to bring it home to the gang. I had to bring it home to everybody. I had to bring it home for the it just needed to be done. So just had to do what I had to do, and I'm thankful. My teammates, we had Taylor Heights. She's a senior on our team. She's a four-time All-American, absolute beast. Solana Matola got fifth All-American, and they kind of just pushed that aside in order to celebrate my national championship for me and the team. So I was really grateful for that, especially knowing they accomplished their own goals as well, and we're just equally as proud of them as they are of me. So I was just grateful that they, made it quite a big deal because it was a big deal, but as well as them placing too, it was pretty cool that we could all do it together, especially Taylor because she's a senior. So we're definitely going to miss her, that's for sure.
Yes, shout out to Taylor Heights for sure. And yeah, Tiffin had two All-Americans in addition to your national title. And speaking of the team, definitely tell us more about the Tiffin squad and the program that your coach has built for y'all.
Last year, a lot of the girls talk about, how last year it wasn't boring, but it was boring compared to this year because we had a lot of tough freshmen come into this class. So, a lot of good freshmen coming into, upperclassmen that are like, oh, maybe my spot, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a little bit of a hard-headed at the beginning, but once the team realized, like we're only here to make each other better, and if we're beating the crap out of each other, it's for a good cause. So once we got past that stage, our team we just got good. We got close. We won regionals. We were ready to go. We're ready to roll. No matter what size, if you're rolling with a big girl and you're a little girl, then you know how to wrestle. And I don't know, we just got used to each other, and coach always pushed us super hard, no matter what. We were feeling cutting weight, feeling sore and stuff. He just like, these are the type of practices you need. And he would just push us. So I feel like we're all one for sure. And I'm grateful to have such a good team, honestly. Like, even I took a loss in Vegas, and I wasn't expecting it, and so I was kind of really upset. They just picked me up like, hey, it's okay. And then I've never really had that before. I've been on a boys team, they're just like, come on, keep your head up. But it was just it was nice to have people that actually cared about me to pick me up, and we were all just one. I'm super thankful for sure.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest benefits of having, being on a women's college wrestling team, which was not the case even, 10 years ago, where there were only just a handful of college programs for women to, have the option to participate in. Otherwise, it was like you're on your own, or, you try to make it onto, a regional club, or you're just kind of on your own trying to figure out where to go. And for you and for the other teammates, you have not only yourself to work on, but you've got a whole team, support, and, people hyping you up and to practice with. And, when times get hard, they're there. When times are great, like after the national championships, they're there, right?
It's also friendships too. Like, being, like I said, I was on a boys team, and I'm not saying I can't be friends with all them because I am, but it's just different to have girls that have been through what you've been through and are continuing to go through the same things as you. So, you can reach out to them and they understand what you're going through. So it's just nice to have literally so many girls that I could go to. And I've made definitely friends on the team that I feel like I'll be friends with forever. So that's awesome. I never thought that it would be this early that I'd meet friends like that.
And of course, so you are from the state of Ohio, and
Yes.
Tiffin, for those who don't know, Tiffin University is in Tiffin, Ohio. Now, I wanted to ask you about your decision to go to Tiffin. Was being in state a factor for you, or what did that end up looking like?
I felt like I did a lot of things for the state of Ohio. I started when I was little, and my parents worked really hard to get a lot of girls things to go on, like Ohio Way and just little state tournaments and stuff. Um, and then we finally got our Coaches Association state tournament, not sanctioned, but we got a state tournament, and I won 2 state titles in high school for that. And then I placed the boys state. So I just felt like, I kept bringing it home to Ohio. I should just continue to do it. And I knew that Tiffin was didn't have a national champ yet, so I was like, I should do that. I should get it done. And then Coach Goble, Coach Goble's like one of my best friends. He's such a good guy, and I felt really comfortable coming here. It was small. I wasn't expecting to go to D1 school anyways, but it was kind of small, and I was just like, like this can't be too bad. It's kind of like my high school. And then Goble was just super cool, and I came on my visit, and the girls in the room were super welcoming, and I was just like, yeah, like this is definitely home. So it sold me for sure.
Were there any other programs that you had considered outside of Tiffin when you were looking for college programs?
My options were open. It was during COVID, so it was super hard to go on visits and stuff. But I was willing to, anybody that reached out. But something about me and Coach Goble's connection was just like, yeah, like I'm comfortable here. So
when you know, right?
Yeah.
So, sure, you have a very interesting story, I think, with your background with Ohio wrestling. The narrative for girls in this sport is definitely changing, whereas, before it was, it's still a male-dominated sport, but obviously that story is changing. But how girls get into wrestling and just like what that wrestling experience looks like for them, growing up, from the youth to the high school and then to the college levels. But for you, you've had this experience where you're kind of like in this threshold in between moment, right? Where you still got that experience where you wrestled the boys, and that's a big part of your story. But you're also part of this wave in Ohio that really carried girls wrestling forward. So you got to wrestle the girls too. And as you just said, yes, you won your two-time Ohio girls state champion state.
Yeah.
Because it just got sanctioned. It was an unsanctioned situation prior to that. But you were also the state's first girl to place at the boys state tournament as well. So you have both of these things going for you, and it's going to continue to look different for girls going forward. What does that mean to you, kind of looking back at all of that and then seeing the state get sanctioned finally?
So looking back, I hated wrestling boys. I'm gonna be honest. I hated it. Like they mean things, but not really. Like I would rather have the glory of like winning the title than getting a big plaque or something like that. So like when I say like state tournament when it's not sanctioned, like it's not the same, but it's what we had at the moment. It's the best that we could have done, and I did that. So it's like I can be grateful for what I've had because I could have had nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for the opportunity to even have a little bit of something, but I'm just happy that the girls, they got it sanctioned finally. It's going to be awesome. I'm super excited for all the girls. They deserve it. We deserve it. Ohio deserves it. Women deserve it. It's a really big step. And, even though I'm not there, I'm going to be there next year, and I'm going to show up. And I don't know. I'm just excited. I know it's a really big step, and we finally got it done. I've been waiting my whole life. So.
And I love that you're willing to, obviously continue to show your support for those girls who will finally get that moment, that, sanctioned state tournament moment, which is a huge deal, not just for Ohio, but obviously for girls wrestling in America. And I'm kind of surprised to hear you say, I guess I just didn't know, but, maybe not the best experience, or, not exactly what you wanted having to wrestle the boys, and that you are glad to finally be wrestling the girls.
I guess it just wasn't ideal. Obviously growing up, I didn't think that I was going to wrestle boys my whole life, watching the Olympics and the girls wrestle the girls. But, like I said, I had to do it. It was nothing against the boys. It's just like, I'm a girl wrestling boys. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. But I wanted to do it my senior year because I wanted to get the job done. But other than that, I don't really.
Never looking back, huh?
Yeah, it definitely made me the wrestler I am today. That's for sure. Dealing with all that. They didn't really have to be good. All they had to do was be strong, and it was hard for me because they just had to use their strength. So doing that, I think, has definitely made me a better wrestler. And I have 5 brothers, so growing up, getting my butt whooped by all my brothers didn't really. It helped, but it wasn't really fun. Yeah.
And I hear from a lot of senior wrestlers that I've talked to who only had their only option was to wrestle boys growing up. That was the only situation that was available to them. And they definitely look back at, I've heard that they look back at that time, that helped them get a leg up, so to speak, with their current wrestling situation, because they had to step up that strength, because they had to do what they had to do to compete against the boys. What do you think on that?
No, I 100% agree. I feel like my wrestling is formed to the way it is because of the boys. Because I had to, and I had shoulder surgery my junior year. So I was even nervous to wrestle my senior year because I tore it wrestling a guy. And so I was like, man, nervous. But I just did what I had to do. But for sure, the boys, and the thing about them is they don't care. Like, if you're stepping out in front of them, they're going to wrestle like everybody. But that's another part that terrified me because I didn't think the guys, like, they wanted to manhandle me. They definitely could have. But, I just played it smart, so I was good. But definitely
Right.
different style of wrestling for sure.
With the continuing sanctioning of girls wrestling, this seems to be one of the main drivers of, promoting the sanctioning, from state to state, is allowing the opportunity for girls to be able to wrestle other girls instead of just having it unsanctioned and, not in this situation where they only have, their only options are to wrestle boys. And, some people are okay with that. A
Right.
lot of people are not. They would rather wrestle, girls their own size or their own strength level. And I mean, I definitely see the benefits to both, being able to wrestle the guys and being able to wrestle the girls,
Okay.
either or being
Yeah.
in the same room. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, like for me, I grew up doing it, so like I'm okay with it. But I could definitely see why parents and athletes aren't okay with it. Um, to me, it's just matches. Like I'm getting matches and I'm getting better whether I win or lose. It's matches, but and like I said, boys, they don't care. So I could see how some parents are like, I don't want to send my girl, especially like above 106, the weight class. Like when you get up to 120, 130, the boys start to become men, and I would not want to send my daughter out to that. So I guess completely understandable. But like to me, it's just matches, and I'm also small, so I can't really speak for like the 160, 70. Like there's no way I would be sending my daughter out to wrestle a full grown man like that. So it's definitely understandable. But like I said, for me, I would. It's just matches, and the guys are not quite men yet. Some of them are, but not quite yet. I'm at that early stage, so.
And just considering the growth of girls and women's wrestling, and just the corner that has been turned with this sport, for you personally, what would you like to see to continue to grow or to open up, whether it's for or within girls and women's wrestling specifically, or the sport as a whole?
I would just love to see, girls are sanctioned now, right? I would love to see them have their state finals next to the guys in the Schottenstein. I would sell my soul for something like that for the girls because when I placed at Boys State, it was in a D3 high school. I'm very thankful, don't get me wrong, but doing that in Schottenstein, man, that would have been literally a dream come true. So I hope that Ohio does what's right and makes that happen because that is what's right. And the girls deserve that. We've came a long way. So something like that would really, it would make it, it makes me kind of emotional thinking about it because that's the feeling of winning a match in that arena is just like unbelievable. I couldn't even imagine winning a state title. So like, I would love that for the girls in Ohio. It'd be awesome.
And of course, just this past weekend, we saw the men's NCAA championships. And you look at that situation, you look at that arena, and
Yeah.
just the setup and the mats and the people, and it's just kind of insane. I mean, for this sport, I mean, that's kind of the pinnacle. I mean, even outside of senior men's wrestling, like men's college wrestling is
Yeah.
like, kind of represents American wrestling in general. And I think you're absolutely right in that I would love to see all the girls, high schools get their championships state to state across the board, because in my
Yeah.
opinion, that's going to be what's going to push girls college wrestling up to the levels that it needs to be. I don't know if it'll ever be just like the NCAAs for men, but I think getting girls high school wrestling on that same level is going to be what, that key first step to elevating the sport.
They definitely deserve the opportunity for sure. And, it's just adding another mat. Just add another mat. You don't even have to watch if you don't want to, just add another mat and just do what's right, So I know it's easier said than done, obviously, but it's the right thing. So I hope they get it for sure.
Easier said than done. Also, simple decision making, and
Yeah.
just having these
Yeah.
conversations and just continuing to show support, I think counts for a lot, because people will catch on. People do hear these things and watch these things, so we just gotta keep putting it out there,
Around. I hope he gets around for sure.
Yes. Okay, and so moving on, we are now in post-season mode. Tell us, Shore, what do you have coming up next? What is the rest of the school semester, not season? What does the school semester look like for you? Will we see you compete anytime soon or during the summer? What does that look like?
I don't really know, honestly. Me and my dad are kind of been talking about it because we just kind of go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? A tournament comes up. Hey, do you want to do it? Okay, sure. No, I'm not really feeling it. Okay, sure. Like, it's never really, and I'm trying to just do more training because the Olympics is coming up and stuff. And I don't know. I like training better. I'll train a year for one tournament. That's just how I get. Like, I just like to. I would rather train than go and compete. I love competing, but I would rather go and compete on a really big stage and train a long time for that one match or that one tournament. So I'm working on getting bigger currently. I wrestle 101 and the Olympic weight's 50 kilos, which is 110. So I have some growing to do for sure, which is awesome because cutting weight is terrible. So I'm really grateful that I get to gain some weight. It's going to be nice. And, lifting, just doing school. I only live like 2 hours from Tiffin, so going home on the weekend, seeing my family, my brothers, my sisters, my cat, my everything that I love, my homebody, just everything. It's nice. I'm in a really good spot, so I'm just kind of taking it day by day, working out every day, training every day, going out with some friends, doing what college kids do, having fun and get my work done. And I'm excited for the summer, warm weather. Ohio sucks because it's always cold, so the winter time, I'm definitely excited for it. So it's coming up. So just looking forward to summer and being free and getting to do what I want and training hard and getting bigger and just all the good stuff that comes along with it.
And is that something, I guess, that you're thinking about for next season, going up to 109, since it is closer to that 110 weight?
Most likely, yeah. Like I said, I'm just going to take it day by day and just see how it goes. Because last year I came in pretty big, but I ended up wrestling ones because, after you train every day, your body starts to get used to it. You start to drop a little bit. So ended up going 101 because I signed at 109, but then I got small. Kind of like, I'm going to make ones. But, like I said, I definitely know I'm not going to be at 101 next year, but between 9 and 16, and we'll just see how big I get. So.
All right. And we'll definitely keep an eye out for whenever you compete next, because we're excited about your future and, just everything that's going to be coming up for you and just moving forward even into the next college season. And, Paris 2024, that's everyone's got the Olympics on the mind, right?
Yep. Tunnel vision for sure.
All right, Olivia, are there any shout outs that you want to make? Any teammates, any coaches, anyone else that you want to kind of put out there?
Oh, if my girl Shanna's still on here, but it's Shanna's birthday. So
happy birthday.
She's the best. Love you, Shanna. Kenzie, you're on here. Hey, what's up? I feel like I should go through and say hi to everyone that said hi to me. But my sister Haley, hi. Eli, hi. Mackenzie, Nia, hello, everybody. My mom's on here, even though she didn't even answer my phone call. So, hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Dad, Paige, everybody. But, yeah. Hey, guys. Thanks for coming out, watching. Thank you for having this interview. It was awesome. I really appreciate it. Yeah, anytime you want. I'm ready. I'm cool whenever. So, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
And last but not least, I just want to ask you, are there any words of advice or anything you want to say to, your Olivia Shore fans out there who are watching this or, are following your journey, seeing you, grow and get better? Anything you want to put out there for those guys?
Definitely. I'm thankful for every person that's ever, donated $1 or, even watched me or supported me and stuff because it means a lot. Growing up, it was hard wrestling boys. Nobody's really too fond of a girl coming in and, actually doing decent against the boys. So I've dealt with a lot of hate. So I'm thankful for all the love that I get. And especially not only for me but for my family. You know, usually if they follow me, they follow my family. So we're definitely very grateful for all the love and support that we get. It's definitely been a rough journey, a rough, career in some spots, but knowing that I have those people that are there to pick me up, it sounds really cliche, but it's really true to have those people that will really do anything for you if you need it. So I'm thankful for everybody that's had my back for sure.
All right, Olivia. Well, I hope you have a fantastic Monday, a great rest of the week. And again, Olivia Shore, thank you so much. And I hope.
Thank you so much for me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys once again for tuning in today. And if you don't already, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And if you don't already follow us on social media, go to @Reaper Wrestling, both on Instagram and on Facebook. Please come back and check in with us for more women's freestyle interviews and event updates. Like the video and subscribe.